Welcome to this video tutorial on how to add and subtract rational functions. So as we discussed in class, the first thing that we want to do is factor the denominators. This one, I don't think the denominators are that difficult to factor. X squared minus 64 turns into x plus 8 times x minus 8. And for the other one, I believe this is going to turn into x plus 8 times x plus 8, which is really x plus 8, the quantity being squared. So now we have to determine the common denominator. We need to have an x plus 8, so it's going to be down there. And in fact, in order to have the least common denominator here, it's going to have a 2 as the exponent on that factor. And then it also needs to have the factor of an x minus 8. So once you've determined what the what the common denominator is going to be, what we're going to do is figure out what each of those is missing. On the left, it's missing a second x plus 8. So we'll multiply by x plus 8 over x plus 8. Please show that. I'll need to see it. On the right hand side, it's missing the x minus 8. So we'll put x minus 8 over x minus 8. Show it as the fraction, because you really have to multiply top and bottom. We're multiplying by 1. Those things cancel. And multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything. In the numerator then, we'll write out how this looks. Don't overlook this negative sign right here. It's one of the biggest mistakes that we see people make on test quizzes and other assignments. And we got 3x minus 4 times x minus 8. So now as we go, we'll FOIL things out. This will be x squared plus 10x plus 16 minus, now we FOIL these two things out. We're going to have 3x squared minus a 24x minus a 4x plus 32. And all of this is over that common denominator of x plus 8 squared times x minus 8. As we continue, we need to combine like terms in here. Now I might be taking a few more steps to do this than you would need to take, but I'm trying to make sure that we all see exactly what's happening. Negative 24 minus 4 is going to be a negative 28x. We get the plus 32 at the far end there. Please keep the denominator. Detail and show the work as it needs to be shown. Now we need to distribute that negative. Be careful with that. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I'll see people make. So we take a minus 3x squared plus 28x and then minus 32. All of that is over our denominator of x plus 8, the quantity squared, times x minus 8. Now, how do things combine? X squared minus 3x squared will be a minus 2x squared. 10x plus 28x will be a plus 38x. And 16 minus 32 is going to be a minus 16. Look at that numerator carefully, because as we said in class, the last thing you need to do is simplify it by factoring. We can pull out a greatest common factor of negative 2. When we do that, it leaves us with an x squared minus 19x plus 8. You need to take out that greatest common factor if 1 remains in the problem. And now, can we factor x squared minus 19x plus 8 any further? Well, the answer is no. We won't be able to find two numbers that multiply to be a positive 8 and add to be a negative 19. So this would be the final answer, not the previous step. I need to see that greatest common factor removed. So recapping, adding, and subtracting rational expressions. First thing that we need to do is factor the denominators. Don't worry about the numerators. Then, identify the common denominator that we would need. In fact, the least common denominator. What you basically do is look for each factor that appears in the denominator. And if there's an exponent on one, you just take the largest exponent you have. You don't need to combine them. We don't need 3x plus 8s. We only need 2x plus 8s. Then we multiply out the numerators, simplify, and at the end factor it as much as we can. That is how you add and subtract rational expressions.